Hi guys, Daniel here. Welcome to my Atlas walkthrough series. In this episode, we will get a look at what makes a good starting location and what makes a good starting base. In early Atlas gameplay, we need to find a good island, a nice location to settle. Since the game is in early access as I'm making this video, I won't showcase a specific island or location. I will give you my thoughts and insights into what we are looking for. Before we decide on the island, we need some awareness about some of the resources we need a lot of during our gameplay. Fibers, wood and thatch, stone and flint, hide, metal, sugar, crystals and gems. These are the basic resources we want easy access to early on. So we want our home island to provide as many of these as possible. Besides fibers, wood, thatch, stone and flint, a good starter island to me will have metal and bears. It will also be good if the island is located in a grid next to a free port with some useful resources. We will not find an island with all the goodies we need, so during a gameplay we will do many gathering trips. That's why I mentioned the free port with something useful, where the useful resource will be something that complements what you don't have on your home island. If you can find it on a free port, it will provide some peace as you go there to gather, and you might want to use the opportunity to respec your Pathfinder as well. Just make sure you're not followed when you leave. The endgame in Atlas will offer yet another challenge, and that is different variations of a base resource. High quality blueprints and items will require this. Alright, so my advice to you is to write down the location you're at and the resources available there. I mention it now because it's good to be aware of this as you're mapping your surrounding grids when you're looking for your home island. One way to scout islands in a grid fast will be to die and respawn on another of the islands or in a different grid. Place a bed if you find something useful. The intended way to explore and how we can reach even more islands is to set sail. I use a simple ramshackle sloop we get from the shipyard's man in the free ports, where I build a sloop and put speed sails on it. When we set our feet on a new island, we get some explorer points and a timed XP boost. If you want to get some XP, this is when you bring out your bow and hunt some animals. Alpha animals would be preferred. As I run around the island, I use the in-game feature setting called Show All Station Icons. It makes it so we can see what kind of a resource a node contains. On my PC, I remap the key from H to Tab or one of my extra buttons on my gaming mouse, so I can get the information fast and easy as I run around. One last thing to think about, especially if you play on a PvP server, is the landscape of the island. Some islands are very small and lack good hiding places. We want to find an island with lots of vegetation and probably some levitation as well. Building bases high up got their challenges, but they are harder to reach and to bring raiding equipment to. With all this information, we should be ready to make a decision for where to build our starting base. I found my island with the metal and the bears, so let's get into some base construction. My starting base is built like a tower. Here you can see a cut through of what we are aiming at. This build showcasing a PvP build. On a PvE server, you will get away without honeycombing the base. First floor and the ceiling floor is nothing but a honeycomb. As we progress our build, we add layers of honeycombed walls. As we need more space, we extend the tower upwards. The main room has to be big enough to fit a bed, a campfire, mortar and pestle, the smithy, some storage and a bookshelf. Above the bed, I place a hatch frame and a ladder. I will use this when I need to extend my base. Big structures such as the loom and the tannery, I simply place outside the base this early on. Alright, now let's build this base from scratch. First off, I build a foundation in thatch, just to make sure I can build the base as I want in this location. Elevation and other game mechanics make it so we can't place foundations everywhere. My final base is a dodecagon, which means 12 sides. I start with placing 3 square foundations. Then I turn by placing 5 triangle foundations. I repeat this process until I completed my dodecagon. To be sure my plan will work, I fill out the complete area with foundations. When I'm done, I replace the center part with stone and demolish the thatch foundations around it. I wall up my first floor and make it a honeycomb. Then I put the ceiling pieces in. Honeycombing can be a very time-consuming task with gathering all the resources needed. You can complete the base first and then go back to honeycombing later when you have the motivation. Now I will wall up the room and the next floor, so I'm going 2 walls high here. Let's place our items in the room. Storage, smithy, bookshelf, mortar and pestle, more storage, the bed and the campfire. Let's prepare the place over the bed with a hatch frame. And a ladder. And as I said, this is so we can expand our base upwards. Now I just finish the ceiling and then honeycombing my roof. To reach the entrance, I use a thatch roof piece. The reason that I use thatch is that if I was raided, the thatch would break and make it harder to reach the base weak entrance. If I was playing PvP, I might replace the door frame with a solid wall, so I don't reveal the weaker entrance to my base as I go offline. And with this, it's time to wrap up this episode. Now you got my insights on how to explore early in the game and find a good place to settle with the first base. please consider subscribing to the channel. It would mean a lot to me and it would be very helpful. You stay safe now. Much love.